Well, for once, John, I have a more exciting story than you, John, because this week, on Monday, my wife and I gave birth to a baby boy in the bathroom with me as the midwife. And I know what you're thinking, John.
Unbelievable.
You're thinking, Andy, you're not a qualified midwife. And
that's my initial thought there.
well, what I would say to you, John, it's not a skill you can learn. You've either got
Right.
it or you haven't. And no amount of qualification certificates and surgical gloves can prove otherwise. So I am now a midwife.
You delivered your own son.
My son on the bathroom floor. And it was, it was fairly dramatic. My wife was in labour, giving it the usual, this seriously hurts in a genuinely primeval way. Oh, almighty Lord, why do you hate women so much? Yowks. It was just a standard...
Yowks.
Yowks, that's what women say in labour, John. It's the standard birth time procedure. So I was thinking, yes, love, could you keep it down? You're drowning out the cricket commentary and it's a key stage of an excellent test match. Come on, England. But this happy equilibrium of the sexes was disrupted, John, when my wife took some time out from mooing to say the words, "It's coming out." Not, "Andy, we're in established labour now, so I think it's time to go to the hospital and have this deal sealed by trained professionals. Come on, let's roll." She said, "It's coming out." At this point, I got a little petrified. I shouted down to my sister, who was looking after Matilda downstairs, to call an ambulance. And I was thinking to myself, well, labour takes ages. We're probably making a fuss about nothing. At which point, my wife says, "I can feel its head." And at this stage, I start thinking, we're going to have to drive really fast to get to the hospital in time.
You're still very much not taking responsibility for the situation at
really
this point.
Trying to, look for the positives.
You're thinking, I pay my taxes, I'd love to get something back for those taxes.
That's right.
How about using the facilities I pay for?
That's right. I was thinking, how busy Norwood High Street is likely to be at 10 a.m. on a Monday morning. And this kind of little reverie was rudely interrupted when I see its head coming out.
Oh my
So
God.
I can see the top of my still about 98% unborn child's bonce. And now I start to think to myself, I am completely out of my depth. I'm about as out of my depth as it's possible to be without being an orangutan in a submarine. But luckily, the woman on the other end of the 999 call kept things very simple. And basically, John, if you're ever in this situation, the basic advice, if you're delivering your own child, is don't drop it. Just hold its head. Don't let it come out too fast. And don't drop it. I say try and sit down. She says, "Ah!" There's a few more squeals of fundamental agony. And then all of a sudden it's Squelch Baby. And coincidentally, Pop Squelch Baby was the title of an old 1960s TV programme. So nature and gravity combined. And I caught my child falling out of my wife. Soft hands, nice clean take. Got him. It's a boy. He seemed to be in good working order with all the classic signs of a human baby. His nadgers were all in the right place. Well, both in the right place. I thought, we've done it. We were overwhelmed by this rush of the purest, most intense ecstasy you can imagine. John, it was definitely the highlight of my week.